Right now, outside your window, a bird just landed on a branch and looked directly at your house. Not at your feeder, not at the sky, at your house. And it has been doing this, watching, waiting, deciding, longer than you realize. What happens in the next few seconds is not random. It is not instinct. It is a conclusion that bird has already reached about you. And today, for the first time, you are going to understand exactly what it decided. Welcome to Bird Minds. What you are about to learn will change the way you listen to your yard every single morning, because the sounds outside your window are not background noise. They are a conversation. A live, specific, rule-following conversation. And somewhere inside it is a message with your name on it. Here is something that most people never find out. The moment you step outside, a chickadee makes a call. That familiar chickadee sound you have heard 1,000 times. Most people assume it is just the bird being a bird. Busy, cheerful, doing whatever birds do. It is not. That call is one of the most sophisticated communication systems in the animal kingdom. The number of D notes at the end is not random. It directly encodes a threat assessment, size of the predator, level of danger, urgency of response, into a single variable. The number of syllables. A large, slow predator like a red-tailed hawk gets 2 or 3 D notes. Be aware, but stay calm. A small, fast predator, a sharp-shinned hawk that can cut through branches at speed and take a bird off a perch before it can react, gets 20 D notes or more. Freeze. Right now. Do not move. And when you walk into your yard, the chickadee calls. The number of syllables it produces in that moment is its honest, real-time assessment of you. Your size, your movement, your speed, your level of threat. You are being evaluated and announced to every bird within 100 feet, every single time you step outside. What makes this remarkable is not just the chickadee. It is that every other species in your yard understands the message completely. Nuthatches respond to it. Titmice respond to it. Juncos, wrens, finches, they all speak chickadee. When that alarm goes out, birds of completely different species act on the exact information inside it. Your yard is not a collection of individual birds. It is a coordinated network, and that network has already filed a report on you. There is a moment that happens in almost every yard that most people completely misunderstand. The yard goes quiet. Completely quiet, not a pause between songs, a sudden, total absence of sound. One moment, there is chatter and movement everywhere, and then nothing. Most people assume the birds just left. That is not what happened. One bird saw something enter the yard, a hawk gliding silently through the gap in the trees, a cat appearing at the base of the hedge, and that one bird issued an alarm, sometimes at a frequency so high that human ears barely register it. Within 2 seconds, every bird within 200 feet received the message and went completely still, not because they all saw the danger, because they all heard the one bird that did. The silence is a word. It means freeze, go still, do not draw attention, and it holds, perfectly coordinated across a dozen species until one bird gives the all clear. That soft 2-note call that sounds almost like a question. That is the signal that travels back through the network the same way the alarm did, and the whole yard comes back to life at once, like a switch was flipped. You have watched this happen without knowing what you were watching. You were witnessing an emergency broadcast system activate and shut down, and every bird in your yard knew exactly what was happening, except you. There is a sound in your yard that is quieter than the alarm calls, softer than the territorial songs, easier to miss than almost anything else out there, and it is the one that matters most. Chickadees have a contact call, a short, gentle sound that has nothing to do with danger or territory. It is the sound a flock makes to stay connected as it moves through a yard, through the maple, along the fence, down toward the feeder, and back up into the canopy. It just says, I am here. You are there. We are together. Everything is fine. Researchers found that individual chickadees have slightly different versions of this call, small variations that are consistent enough to identify who is speaking. Vocal signatures. The flock knows each other by voice, individually, the way you recognize the voices of people you have lived with for years. But here is the part that changes everything. In yards where a human shows up consistently, same time, same movements, same quiet presence, chickadees begin to include that human in their contact calling. When you step outside, the calls do not stop. The flock does not scatter. Your arrival is treated as a known event, a familiar, trusted part of the world they move through. And when a chickadee lands on a branch near you and gives that soft call while looking directly at your face, it is not begging for seed. It is placing you in the map of its world. It is telling the flock, this one is here. This one belongs here. That tiny, barely audible note is the closest thing in the bird world to your name. And if you have been showing up every morning, moving quietly, filling that feeder on schedule, they have been saying it every single day. You just did not know they had a word for you. That sharp chip sound from your hedge, stone striking stone, steady and rhythmic, is not a song. It is not an alarm. It is a cardinal keeping track of its mate. Male and female cardinals use this call constantly, all day, every day, to stay in contact when they cannot see each other. She is on one side of the yard. He is in the canopy on the other. Every few seconds, one sends the chip. The other answers, I am here. Are you there? I am here. As dusk approaches, the chips get faster. The pair is converging, finding each other before nightfall, moving closer, branch by branch through the yard they share. And when they finally land side by side, the chipping stops. They can see each other. They do not need words anymore. You have been listening to a relationship conducted entirely in sound, probably for years, without knowing it was a conversation. Everything I have told you today is documented and real. The alarm system, the emergency network, the contact call, the cardinal chips, all of it studied, observed, confirmed. But I want to talk about something else now. At some point, maybe recently, maybe years ago, you were in your yard or standing at a window in a quiet house. Someone you loved was gone, and a bird came. A cardinal, most often, with that vivid red that catches the eye even on the darkest morning. Sometimes a robin, sometimes a small wren appearing somewhere unexpected. It stayed longer than birds usually stay. It looked at you, and something in you went still. Not a thought, a feeling that something was being communicated. I am not going to tell you that is impossible. The belief that certain birds carry a message from someone who has passed is one of the oldest and most consistent spiritual traditions in human culture. It crosses every background, every generation, every belief system. It is not a fringe idea. It is the experience of millions of people reaching for the same words to describe the same quiet moment. What the science tells us is this: the birds in your yard have a capacity for awareness, for recognition, for memory, and for intentional communication that most people have never been told about. Whether something beyond what we can currently measure is sometimes present in those moments, that is not a question science has closed. It is a question science has not finished asking. When that bird came to you, you were not wrong to pay attention. And whatever you believe about what it meant, you are not alone in it. Every morning when you step outside and the yard fills with sound, the chickadee moving through the maple, the cardinal chips from the hedge, the soft calls of a flock staying together as it forages through your garden, you are not hearing background noise. You are hearing a community that has built its communication system around your yard, around your schedule, around the sound of you. A community that has assessed you, reached a conclusion, and woven that conclusion into the sounds it makes the moment you appear. Somewhere in all of that is a note that means you, not a human, not a threat, not a stranger. You, the one who shows up, the one who moves quietly, the one who has been here long enough that you are no longer something they talk about. You are someone they talk around. You became part of the language itself. The next time you step outside and the birds keep singing, the next time the yard stays alive around you instead of going still, you will know exactly what that means. The conversation already happened, and you passed. If a bird has ever come to you in a moment that felt like more than coincidence, tell me about it in the comments. What bird was it? What were you going through? I read every single one. I will see you in the next one.